Tired of ads barging into your favorite news podcasts? Good news. Ad-free listening on Amazon Music is included with your Prime membership. Just head to amazon.com/ad-free news podcasts to catch up on the latest episodes without the ads. Enjoy thousands of Acast shows ad-free for Prime subscribers. Some shows may have ads.
Are you struggling to close deals? Cold outreach is wasting the time of both the buyer and seller at every stage, especially when sellers are using shallow and outdated data. Your organization can overcome these challenges with technology. We call this deep sales, and we've built the first deep sales platform with the next generation of LinkedIn Sales Navigator. Right now, you can try LinkedIn Sales Navigator and get a 60-day free trial at linkedin.com/trial. That's linkedin.com/trial for a 60-day free trial. Let LinkedIn Sales Navigator help you sell like a superstar today.
Okay guys, welcome to episode 2 of Heavy Metal Tones with you, your podcast host, Tony Evans. This is a program about music for music nerds, by music nerds, also to those that are just dabbling their toes into the waters of heavy rock, heavy metal and everything in between. This is, again, a bit of a ramble today. I've got my tea, I've got my Eddie bobblehead, I've got my studio recording nicely. Now, what I want to talk to you about today is the following on from the last episode, again, because it's going to be a Maiden month. I'm going to talk about my favourite Maiden album. It's what it means to me. Okay, so I think I talked about it slightly before, but I think definitely Peace of Mind is my favourite. A lot of people, interestingly, again, they head for the classics, Number of the Beast, Power Slave. I really enjoy Peace of Mind. I think I did talk about the last episode. Again, I have to go back and listen to it. I'm sort of doing these a bit apart because of work commitments and lockdown stuff and house stuff I have to do around the house. Also, I do some work for Metal Ruse. I did mention those before. The guys at Metal Ruse, www.metalruse.com, for all your fantastic heavy metal interviews, reviews, and merch. It's a locally owned Sydney-based company website owned by Michael. He's an amazing guy from Germany. He's living here now with his family, and he lives, breathes, and loves his heavy metal. He basically got the online magazine, going to just sort of get the local community chatting, and so it didn't feel so alone. And now it's a huge project that was lots of volunteers on with reviewing. So if you're looking for some reviews, you want to do some reviews, contact me. I'll get you onto our list. If you want to do some gig reviews, let us know as well. That's always good because you get a free ticket to a gig locally. That's always a bonus. But anyway, that aside, yes, I'm going to talk about Peace of Mind. Why is it more important than all the others to me? I think it's the track listing, to be honest with you. I really do. I think that the mix is spot on. It runs in at a cracking 46 minutes, so it's not far too long to take up half your day. You've got Where Eagles Dare, Revelations, Flight of Icarus. Now, I know Revelations, Stephen Harris doesn't like it very much. I think it's a great live track. Die With Your Boots On, Sing Along, of course, The Trooper. Now, I have a big tattoo of Eddie Trooper on my back, so that shows you there. Still Life, Christopher Fire, Sun and Steel, and of course, the wonderful To Tame a Land, based on Dune, the book by Herbert. And the interesting thing about that is that it sort of starts the epic end of albums that Maiden seem to do over their career. Like the last track, Alexander the Great, To Tame a Land, Empire of the Clouds, tends to be When the Wind Blows. Things like that tend to be long, epic songs at the end. They're all big history buffs. They're very intelligent men, and they have they enjoy reading and being interested in the world. So that the music at their album is at the end are usually great. You're also looking for the first time here with the new drummer, and when Nico McBrain comes in, you've also got just the engineering on it. It's the sweet spot album. Every part of it, every aspect. Bruce's vocals are spot on. The catchy tunes are there. Obviously, it's not Number of the Beast, but then again, I think that's what makes it fun for me. I particularly like I think a standout song. Of course, we're all going to say standout. It's going to be The Trooper, or maybe even Where Eagles Dare. But I think the standout really is Die With Your Boots On. Every time they've played it live, when I've seen them, or I go for a sing-along track, I want a song that's going to bounce around a bit. Die With Your Boots On is up there, isn't it? It's up there with Prisoner and stuff. It has that, great mix of rock and roll, heavy metal, heavy rock, a little bit of sort of punk in there, but I mean, it's just a bit of everything. It is a golden sweet spot, I think, because it is that coming to the end of their Nawabum sound, when they were outgrowing the movement which they sort of spearheaded. I mean, this. If you look at the great bands in history, and you think about, the great bands. I mean, I've got one in mind that's not going to, sort of, unfortunately, weirdly, goes against that. But the great bands in history, they don't stay the same. They evolve with their ability to aid with more money, the freedom of choice when their albums, the record labels saying, come on, we want more, but hey, do what you want. So, luckily, Maiden were on EMI, and they were very, very flexible with their what they wanted from the band and the money they were giving them for their albums. So bands like the Beatles, think about the Beatles, the greatest pop band ever. They started playing cover songs, being part of the British invasion, not, just doing all of the doo-woppy kind of stuff, and scream and shout and stuff, just sort of that sort of music. And then towards the middle of their career and onwards, to the end, they were doing stuff that was, would a teenager buy that now? Probably not, I don't think. But they were making this music that was for them more than anyone else. So that's what it should be about. I mean, you want to write music. Yes, I'd play music because I want to sell records. I want to be famous. I want to play live. I want people to adore me. Of course you do. It's a bit of narcissism in all of us. But at the same time, you want to write music that's important to you, that if you put it on, you go, I want to listen to that, or I've created that. And I think that's what Maiden did. That's what the Beatles have done or did. Other great bands in history that have done things like that. To be fair, I mean, there's not many of them, but the ones that you remember, like I said, the Beatles. I think the Rolling Stones, and as of today, of recording, Charlie Watts, R.I.P., he died overnight. I did get the chance to meet him. Is another side story. I didn't really meet him such. I was at art college, and a friend of mine's band, his brother was in a band called Chumbawamba, if you ever remember them, and there was a tribute to the drummer from the Blockheads, Ian Dury and the Blockheads, and it was in Kilburn, and I said, come down, we're just raising money for him. So I went to there. I had no money. I went and bought myself half a pint of bitter. And there was Charlie Watts at the other end of the bar. Everyone's around him. I didn't go near him. I just sat back, drank my drink. And honestly, I snuck off after about half an hour, 40 minutes. It wasn't my music scene. You got to picture me. I had a Mohican. I had piercings. I was a punk, basically. And wasn't the sort of thing that Charlie Watts would want to talk to, so I sort of just slunk away. Anyway, that's set aside. I think, again, the Stones, another one that have moved on and changed their sound. Genesis, from those sort of 25-minute prog epics to 3-minute pop songs from Duke onwards, lots and lots. I couldn't name. I'm not going to go. The one that stands out that's different for me, that was a moment in time that didn't change, was the Pistols. I mean, the Sex Pistols wrote the greatest album ever made. Never mind the bollocks. Sorry, you can argue on me that one, but I think that is the case. And the only time they changed and moved forward was when they all left the band and created music that was different outside of the band. John Lydon being the most notable case of that particular scenario. Anyway, back to where I was. Stop rambling. Peace of Mind. Artwork. Eddie in a padded cell. Amazing. Eddie on stage with his brains are pulled out by Bruce Dickinson. Amazing. The catalogue of songs on it just move. They're just, yeah. I mean, I'm not really giving it that much. I think selling it as much as I'd like to sell it, but really, I would try and listen. Do me a favour, guys. Look, these days when you go on to Spotify or Apple Music or wherever you stream music, you tend to only be able to get the remastered prints, which is great, but it's not what it was when someone bought it in 1980. When did it come out? 83. It's not. That's not the. That's not the sound that Steve and all the guys made. Even though they've re-engineered it to what they would listen to now, but they're re-engineering it for the modern equipment that we're playing on. I really think that sometimes these re-engineered albums are great. I buy them because I love them, but I really want to listen to the original print. And I would, if you can, listen to an old copy of it. I think there isn't, I'm not sure on Spotify. Let me just look. I don't think there is the original version of it. I'm just flicking through now. No, it looks like it's just the re-engineered one. So grab hold of it if you can on vinyl or cassette or a CD, the previous one. Listen to the difference. It's slightly flatter. It's slightly less drum mix. The mix is drums out slightly, and it pans ever so slightly differently. And I think that's where we should start. I think as music nerds, we really should look at listening to music that's, I don't know, that I've got friends of mine who have, $20,000 record deck setups, and I keep saying to them, most of the albums that I own, or the music I listen to be honestly truthful, was either recorded and manufactured on a Neve desk, or mixed on a Neve desk, 8, 16 track, 24 track tape, and it's not digitally clicked and cleaned and preened and pushed. And so why do I need a system to play that kind of music? I don't. If I want that, I'll put my CD player on. And that's what I'm saying with the music. So go grab an older copy, listen to it. I mean, it's digital cleaning is great for heritage and music. So like Robert Johnson tracks, or any of the early blues or bluegrass blues musicians, early rock and roll, when it was not cleanly recorded, so you want to clean it up to hear it. And that's brilliant. But it's like polishing an old coin. Why would you do it? There is such thing as patina. If you know what patina is, it means a pattern on things. So aging of patterns. So plates and jewellery and silverware and gold has things called patina. It's the aging of time. And I think that if we remove those aging of time from the product, we strip it back, its beauty. It really is. I mean, cleaning a painting back so you can see the colours is different because it's a painting. And you want to appreciate it, you need to see what the colour artist put down. But same could be said about music, but I also think that it can take away some of its soul. Anyway, so get an original copy, listen to it. Vinyl, even better. Side 1, turn over side 2, enjoy the artwork. I mean, what we all need to do there is just don't listen to it as single numbers. Listen to it as a whole album. Go into it and just think, the majesty of Where Eagles Dares. That opening drum, that's just that. It's just that. It just grabs you. It says, we are the best band in the world, and we are making amazing music. Then you go to Revelations. Da 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 da, boom. Just Flight of Icarus. I mean, every time I listen to that song, and I'm not a biblical person. I'm not very good at the some of the ancient histories, but I listen to that and I am almost drawn to the story straight away. I really am. Die With Your Boots On, I said that before. Catchy, brilliant. I reckon that's probably one of the best tracks to be released as a single. And then, of course, you've got The Trooper, which you can't really, come on. You think Iron Maiden, you think Number of the Beast, you think Trooper. You think Can I Play With Madness? They're the singles that you go, wow, this is great. And then it ends, it goes out to Quest of Fire. I'm old enough to have seen that movie, Quest of Fire, when it came out, the movie about caveman finding fire. My brother took me to see it. I didn't even connect Quest of Fire with the movie straight away. I'm not even sure if they came out around the same time. I couldn't tell you. I have to do more research into that. Of course, The Sun and Steel was flashy and fun. And then To Tame a Land, I saw Dune, the original movie, on Boxing Day when it came out at Leicester Square. My brother and I would go to a movie every Boxing Day, and that was our choice that year. And for probably a 12-year-old, it was quite a gutsy choice. We could have gone and seen a Disney movie or one of the big blockbusters, but we went and saw that. And it was just brilliant. I bought all the toys that came out alongside with it. I had a big sandworm. I had all the Armatradis action figures. Yeah, just brilliant. And of course, then you connect that song with that. And that's how the wonderfulness of Maiden does that. Anyway, that's enough about that for now. I'll see you on the other side very soon. Looking for somewhere to go for some food. Want some good music? Want a cold beer? Well, the place for me is the basement, 2 Cohen Street, Belconnen. So if you're in the capital and you want some food and drink, that's the place to go. Chompies, what a burger joint that is. Hot and spicy, sweet and sour, vegetarian, vegan and meat eaters. It's got it all covered. The basement, one of the best band places you ever see in the world. I reckon personally, great stage, great sound, great people, great bar, great atmosphere. If you're looking for a beer, you want a burger, and you want some music, as I said before, the basement, 2 Cohen Street, Belconnen, the ACT. See you there. Welcome back, guys, to Heavy Metal Tones with me, your podcast host, Tony Evans. Today, this next section, I'm going to be doing as we did last time. I've actually decided to call it Tones Tall T-Shirt Tales. There's a bit of alliteration for you. Don't say that fast while you're swimming. Anyway. Today's T-shirt has a high sentimental value for me. My daughter's boyfriend, Will, lovely man, likes his heavy metal as well. Good on him. They both bought me for Christmas about, must be about 4 years ago now. I hadn't seen Venom live, and they've been a very important part of my musical journey. Still are. I think probably my favourite heavy metal band alongside with Maiden. And we were going to see them at the basement. It was the first time that they were going to play ever in Australia. And it was at the basement, and it was the first gig in the country. What a coup for little Canberra. Anyway, I don't have a shirt, and I said, what am I going to do? The gig was sort of in February, and my Christmas morning, I opened my presents, and honestly, I think I was going to cry. I pulled open my present from the two of them, and there in front of me was a Venom T-shirt with the picture. If you haven't seen the cover, it's In League with Satan and Live Like an Angel on the front. So it's the artwork from the first album, and on the back, you've got all the lyrics to In League with Satan. Again, it was just one of those moments where someone who knew me genuinely got me something surprising and something that I would use. I was so happy. And to wear it, to see Venom, that gig was something special. I mean, it was the original lineup, all but Kronos. So Tony Doolan, or Demolition Man, who's a really nice guy. I chat to him a lot. He's at that second phase of Venom before Kronos came back. It was when they made Venom Inc. So it wasn't Venom, it was Venom Inc., which is still Venom. If you've got Abaddon on drums, Mantis on guitar, and Tony on bass and vocals, really, it is still Venom. And it was blistering, all of my favourite numbers, and almost the whole of their new album, Ave, at that time, which was released, which is brilliant. I got to lean over the barrier and strum Mantis' guitar. I mean, God, I felt like an 11-year-old again. It was just wonderful. I took Will to see them. I think it blew his mind a bit as well. It was only a small crowd. It was probably about 200, 250 people, if that, which is criminal. Guys, if there was ever a law against it, that should be a law against that. It was absolutely criminal not to have a bigger audience. But it's Canberra. It was a Wednesday night. It was midweek, I think. If I can remember, I have to look back at the T-shirt now. But yeah, and so it felt like a personal little gig for me. Regret I didn't do a backstage pass. I'm doing it this time. It's been delayed several times now. This next gig that's coming up, meant to be in October, with all the lockdowns and shit that's going on. This may not happen. Anyway, that aside, looking forward to catch up with the guys, having a beer with them. But the shirt. So if you've ever wanted to see something that is purely, I think that Venom they invented black metal. They write the best black metal. It's a glorious, hellish mix of raucous punk rock style, thrashy heavy metal with that street sound. They always said they weren't part of the Nawabba, new wave of British heavy metal movement. I sort of don't agree with them. I think they were and they weren't. If you're on Neat Records, which they were, you're a part of the New Wobbin movement. I mean, the great bands on Neat, Raven and so on. Another one of them, this Newcastle-based record label that just produced, and Bronze as well. They were on Bronze for a while. It's another classic album label that produced some great stuff. And The Damned were on the Bronze for a little while. Brilliant. Anyway. So, on the front, you've got the circle and the pentagram with the devil, Venom and its classic logo at the top, and then In League with Satan on one side, and then Live Like an Angel, which was Mantis' first song he wrote for the band. This is one of your favourite songs to play live. Great moments. I remember the gig finished, and Abaddon, who they don't really talk to a lot because there's some issues, within the music industry. It's like not everyone gets on. And he walked to the front and he just opened up his bottle of Jack Daniels and he just poured it into our mouths all over the front of the stage. Wow, great moments. Anyway, that's my T-shirt for this week for Tones Tall T-shirt Tales. Again, say that fast if you can. Don't say it in public. Anyway, that's enough for today. Slightly shorter episode because I rambled a bit at the front about the Peace of Mind. But again, just trying to get my head around timings and lengths of things. I hope you enjoyed the episode. I haven't really planned them. I'm just sort of going as I go. I will, hopefully be more structured on the episodes, but hey, the way I rock and roll is the way I rock and roll. I don't really enjoy having to write it all down and read it verbatim. It's not, when you write music and you write an album, you jam it first, don't you? This is just my jam, really. Again, if you've got anything you'd like me to do, once this is up and running, send me a message, either on my Facebook page, which is Nawabum and All Things Heavy Metal, and All Things Metal, sorry. Or you can get me once I've got my Instagram and things like that. Twitter, maybe, I don't know. Not very good at Twitter, but I'll give it a go. Anyway, your homework before the next episode is to go and listen to Peace of Mind, non-remastered, then the remaster, see the difference, and let me know how you feel about it. I'm sure all of you out there have got some love for it, and there may be some people who are new to Maiden who aren't sure. If you're going to look for one and you're not sure about, to jump in first with Bruce. This is probably the one to do it for me, and then I go backwards to a number of the beasts. But hey, nothing could beat the wonderful swing drums and stylings of Clive Burr. Rest in peace, Clive. I'm sure you're up there playing drums with all the rest of them now. I'm actually sure that Phil Lynott is on bass, Clive Burr is on drums, and a host of vocalists. I mean, who would you pick? That's an interesting one for you. Who would you pick as your afterlife band? Yeah, who would it be? It's an interesting one, isn't it? I don't know who I'd pick. Too many, to be honest with you. I know that drums would be Clive Burr. Guitar would be, first guitar would be Gary Moore. I think second guitar would be, and it's going to throw you out here, but Greg Lake from Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Bass I'd probably have two basses actually. I'd probably have John Entwistle and Chris Squire. And vocals, it's a really tough one because all my favourite vocalists are still alive. To be honest with you, so it'd probably be an instrumental band. I'm sure there's one that's moved on that I can't think of. Joe Strummer. I'd have Joe Strummer on vocals. Of course I would. What an idiot. Yeah, that's all I'd have. Anyway, that's me. So I'd love to hear what your afterlife band lineup would be. And if you have a band name, who knows? It'd be interesting. Probably Phil Lynott could sing as well. Thinking of could get Phil Lynott on third bass. You could tell I'm a bass player. On third bass and on second vocals. There you go. Anyway, see you on the other side, guys. Keep rock and rolling. Keep safe.
Are you struggling to close deals? Cold outreach is wasting the time of both the buyer and seller at every stage, especially when sellers are using shallow and outdated data. Your organization can overcome these challenges with technology. We call this Deep Sales, and we've built the first deep sales platform with the next generation of LinkedIn Sales Navigator. Right now, you can try LinkedIn Sales Navigator and get a 60-day free trial at linkedin.com/trial. That's linkedin.com/trial for a 60-day free trial. Let LinkedIn Sales Navigator help you sell like a superstar today.
Get the best workout with the best-kept secret in fitness. Hydro, the state-of-the-art at-home rower. Hydro engages 86% of your muscles, delivering the ultimate full-body workout in just 20 minutes. From advanced to beginner, Hydro has over 4,000 classes that are shot all over the world and are taught by Olympians and world-class athletes. For a 30-day risk-free trial with free standard shipping, go to hydro.com and use code ROW500 to save up to $500. That's HYDROW.com, code ROW500.
Tired of ads barging into your favorite news podcasts? Good news. Ad-free listening on Amazon Music is included with your Prime membership. Just head to amazon.com/ad-free news podcasts to catch up on the latest episodes without the ads. Enjoy thousands of Acast shows ad-free for Prime subscribers. Some shows may have ads.